What's going on, guys? Kulprit here, and today I just want to do a quick little video. It's Thanksgiving. I obviously won't be around, spending some time with family. We're having family over, all that stuff. I want to do just kind of a quicker video, not a big content production video that might not be seen if you guys are all out of your houses as well. But I wanted to touch base and talk about a couple things to order of business relating to the channel. But first, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to those of you celebrating, and even to those that aren't. I mean, it's always just good to take a day and reflect on things that you're grateful for, you're thankful for. I know that's what I'm going to be doing, and certainly as I've grown older, it's meant more to me. Thanksgiving's always kind of been a favorite of mine. I've always had a dysfunctional family, and we've had a lot of issues, but we've always stuck together as a family unit for the most part, and they've been people I could always depend on, and through thick and thin and all that stuff. So Thanksgiving, plus the food, and the beer, and things like that. So it's a combination of things I really like, and it's always been a special holiday for me, but especially as I've grown older, like I said, and it's nice to just kind of reflect on what you're thankful for, be it anything. And I know some of you guys out there, you're not older necessarily, or you might feel like you don't have anything to be thankful for. But I think if you sit there and you honestly reflect on things, you'll find at least a couple things, a couple of little rays of light and things that make you smile or put a smile on your face. It doesn't have to be any like really heavy philosophical things. It could just be a game release that's coming up, or a movie you just saw that was good, or an old book that you love that, hey, maybe I'll put off the shelf and reread it. When you find these little things, it makes you happier. It lifts you up, and it kind of gives you something to be happy for. And as you find more of these things, they start to string together, and you find your mood changing. Trust me, I've been there. I've been in dark times and depressed times and sadness and things. Everybody goes through it. That's what helped me get through it, focusing on a little things. So I like to take a day out of my year, if I don't do it more, which I do actually. For me, it's very easy this holiday. It's been exactly a year to the day. It was just last Thanksgiving night, a couple hours after we had a meal with my family. It was nice, and we headed home. And it was a couple hours later, I think I actually gamed and passed out on the bed here next to me, and my wife was in her room, and the kids were asleep. She woke me up saying I have to take our son, my youngest son, who was 1 at the time, to the hospital. And I was like, what? And I quickly looked at him, and he could not breathe. He had been sick, had a kind of a cough, a cold. He could barely breathe, and so obviously off she went. I had to kind of make arrangements to have my other son taken care of, and then I followed. By the time I followed, they had already taken him to the bigger, more sophisticated hospital, and he was in the pediatric ICU for about 4 days. It's nothing harder than seeing your, as a man, and I kind of am an old school man, and just sitting there and seeing your 1-year-old son, who you spend every day with, can't breathe, and there's nothing you can do, and man, that's a rotten time. And when you go through times like that, I hope none of you experience this, but most of us as humans usually do. In times like that, you make a lot of promises to yourself, and you tell yourself a lot of things, and man, if this works out, and you speak to people, and you speak to whatever or whoever listens. Frankly, that's who you're talking to, and you say these things of, man, I'm never going to take another day for granted, and all these things. And so this year, it's very easy for me to reflect that. And for those of you, I know a lot of you, I remember posting about on Facebook during this time. And a lot of you guys were uplifting and supportive, which is fantastic. And I mean, in case you're just wondering, he's doing great. We found out he's mildly asthmatic, but there's hope that as he grows bigger and more robust and his systems develop, he's going to grow out of it, in essence. But now we have to be a little proactive, and we are, and he kind of takes treatments every now and then. But he's fine. He's up climbing the walls. He's a perfectly normal little boy, which I'm incredibly thankful for. So a lot of my things are very obvious this year, but for those of us, sometimes they're not very obvious. So just kind of be honest with yourself and look around, and I'm sure you can find those things. Speaking of being thankful, let's segue off the deep topics there. My channel's about to hit 5,000 subscribers. It may actually have done so before this video goes live. I'm just short of it by like 10 subs right now. And for that, I'm very grateful. On a different level, obviously, but it's been a long year. It's been a grind. I'm not going to tell you it isn't. The first year was fun. Everything seemed to come easy. That next year, man, it was tough, and it was a grind, and it was hard to find my way. Battlefield 3 interest was waning, so I think it was harder to find the average view, for me anyway. But now, Battlefield 4, I really feel like we've gotten some momentum back. I'm making videos I'm proud of and that I'm enjoying. And I think you guys are. I'm seeing a lot of new faces, a lot of new names in chats, and sending me messages on Twitter, these types of things. And that's awesome. And I'm also seeing a lot of old faces, and that's fantastic to me, because a lot of times it's easy to get someone to click the subscribe button. It's a lot harder to keep them from clicking the unsubscribe button. So to see a lot of you guys that are still here and still contact me on every video and And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I know it's cliche, and every YouTuber says that as they're looking at their PayPal account and the other monitor. That's not what this is about. It really is cool, like, to me, to think that, you know, because I go back and I watch my first video several times a year, and I just shake my head. But it's really cool, though, at the same time, because, like, this whole channel, aside from trying to get subs and viewers, it's kind of a journal for me. It's a gaming journal. It's not just even gaming, it's in my life. Like I said, I just told you about my son in the ICU. I have videos about the giant hurricane that was just a little over a year ago. These things, like, I go back and I watch those videos, and I tell you what went on in my life that week, and it's just like, wow, yeah, I remember that, you know, these things. So it's a really great experience personally for me, but also the idea that you guys are along for the ride, and through your comments and interaction, I've grown, not just as a YouTuber, and a guy who used to be afraid to publicly speak, and a guy who used to be like the limelight, but kind of didn't really know how to formulate thoughts on the fly and things. And now here I am, perfectly comfortable with that, and in a matter of confidence I never had. And that's such a great gift that you can give someone, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. And it's been a wild ride, and I'm hoping if we keep going and I keep making content you like, based on the feedback you give me, the ride's going to get a little crazier and keep getting crazier and keep getting crazier. And hopefully we hit that critical mass maybe, and we can just keep going, and we can have a lot of fun with this. That's the plan. So speaking of the plan, I'll get into the last order of business. I've kind of decided to designate Friday as my stream night. Now, some of those Fridays are going to be taken up by Friendly Fire, the podcast we do, the streamcast we do. So that kind of meshes pretty well in there. That's going to be my set night to stream. I'm going to try to do other nights because I really kind of want to get into streaming. I want to take it seriously. I see it as something I can do and something I can have a lot of fun with. I get nights literally where I get stuck here making YouTube videos, which I enjoy doing. But I'm online and I'm doing this YouTube thing, but I'm completely isolated. I'm doing this interaction with you guys, but I don't get any interaction, direct interaction anyway. So streaming I see as the antithesis to that, where I can directly interact with you guys. So I've been kind of stockpiling games, and especially as the Steam sales now going off. God, I love Steam sales. My wallet doesn't, but I do. I picked up a game today, 2 games today, actually, and I'm trying to put these games aside that I think would be good Steam games. Now, obviously, it's going to be focused a lot on Battlefield 4, but I'm kind of hoping that I can get enough Battlefield 4 in the rest of the week that on a Friday, I can play different games with you guys, and we just have fun. It's like relax, have a couple drinks maybe, and just unwind from the week. I'm looking for games that I can play, have fun with, but that I'm not so hyper-focused on the game and the gameplay, where I can interact with you guys, talk, chat, get to know you, and just provide an entertaining time, a good time. So that's what Friendly Fire does, and I really enjoy that, and I'd like to kind of build off of that. So Fridays are going to be my stream nights, my set night. I'm hopefully branching into more, but I'm not going to lie to you, my schedule is hectic. I can't always be where I want to be at any given time. So make sure you click the link in the bottom in the description, go to my Twitch page, follow me there, then it'll tell you every time I stream. I'm absolutely going to start getting into that more. I'm starting to turn the wheels on my new location. I'm going to be moving out of this area across the hall. If you look at my gaming, my house tour, I think it was, basically that is where I'm going to move. I talk about where I'm going to move. My son's getting older. He's going to need a bigger room. That's coming on the horizon, so I'm trying to plan everything out, and streaming is a large focus of that. Green screens, second streaming PC, these types of things. I'm starting to plan now, put the pieces together, so I can get it all set up and kind of have my perfect setup, more or less, and really kind of remove all the choke points out of my workflow. I can make more videos, I can stream more, I can play more. That's the idea. I got a lot of experience. I got like 500 videos under my belt now. I know how the system works, I know how I work, I know how I want it set up. Streaming's a different animal. I'd like to start to get into that and kind of dip my feet into it more. As I talked about my house tour, the whole reason I was talking about hitting 5,000 subscribers, before I forget, is if you guys want me to do a special kind of video, let me know in the comments. If you have cool ideas, I'll do it for you. I've done the house tour, I've done setup build, I've done my airsoft stuff, I've done a vlog Q&A. I don't know what else, I don't know what all these YouTubers are doing now. I didn't do anything for like 4,000. I'm not sure if I did something for 3,000, but 5,000 is a good mile marker to do something. If you're interested in that, I know there's a lot of new people here. I could even do another vlog Q&A if you guys want to do that, since we're probably a year or 2 out from the last one. Just let me know in the comments if there's something you'd like to see me do. And if you have a cool idea, I'll do it. I got no problem doing it. I like these things outside of gaming. I feel like it kind of allows us to get to know each other a little bit better. But yeah, so basically, cool idea for my 5,000 celebratory video. Ugh. And streaming is going to be a focus going forward. It's going to be Friday nights. I don't know about this Friday, being Black Friday and after a holiday, it might be tough. So I'm not going to set anything up for this Friday, but continue the Friday after that, which actually will probably be a Friendly Fire podcast. And then beyond that, we're going to play some games. Like, I have Walking Dead. I'm dying to play Walking Dead, and I think it'll be a really fun stream game. Just sit around. You guys can watch me react to these things. We can kind of interact and decide which paths to take. Games like that. That'll be a lot of fun to play as a group, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And like I said, of course, Battlefield 4, you know, we're going to be doing that for sure. I think that about wraps it up. Much longer than I thought it was going to be, but I like to talk and ramble. Once again, guys, have a good Thanksgiving Day. If you don't celebrate it, enjoy the days off you may have gotten. I'm going to spend it with some family, as I think everybody should if they're close to you. And thanks so much for the support, guys. I really do appreciate it. I will talk to you soon. Take care.